What made you realize you're not young anymore? When I heard some teenagers on the street laughing out loud. It annoys me. I was like that before lol. Not being the youngest person at work anymore. The nostalgia reboots were for people younger than me. I work at a university and the first years were born after I graduated. Looking down and not understanding how those wrinkled, arthritic hands are attached to my body. Walking into a store and realizing what I wore as a teenager came back in style. Hurt myself sleeping. I got a new job recently. I spend most of my time sitting watching a machine work and I have to interact with it every 15 or so minutes. Or if there's a problem, it's not physically intensive, especially compared to the work I've done prior. I've been coming home at 3. And I'm exhausted by 8 and want to go to bed. That's how I've realized I'm not young anymore. Edit. Oh, and I replaced all my shoes and work boots with New Balance. You get seen by a doctor that is younger than you. Although my father passed away long ago, it occurred to me one particular June day a few years back that it was his 100th birthday. The realization that I had a parent in the triple digits made me feel old myself. TikTok. I don't use it, but I know all the teens do. So it showed me how detached I am from their interests and what they find entertaining. Removed. I don't know any of the celebrities anymore. They all look, sound the same to me. When my back hurts just by doing basic stuff, having to trim my nose hairs regularly made me feel old. In a video game, the old character was born the year I was no longer understanding the lingo teens use. Had to look up how to correctly use based in a sentence and still couldn't tell you what it means. When you realize that this is it, this is my life, this is a hard one to admit. When I was young, I did not have to pay attention to stairs. I would run up and down, skip steps and turn on a dime on them. Now because I know my balance is not as good as it was, I have to pay attention and at times yes handrails. I also get nervous around steps that are considered more dangerous. Hard surface, outside and possibly slippery and so on. It is not the stairs. It is my balance and my eyesight. With those things it increases my fear, and we know no fear is the mind killer. Knees. The answer is definitely knees. Every time I have to select a higher range when a form asks my age. Having passionate conversations with friends about which vacuum cleaner to buy. Minecraft's turning 12. When I took a school economics class and mentioned the new Coke debacle and nobody in the class understood what the hell I was talking about. When I can't name any songs by new music artists selling out the arena in my city. When my 14 years my junior buddy asked me earnestly if I had already heard Running Up That Hill prior to Stranger Things. When corporate America stopped marketing to me. When I started being older than authority figures. I was pulled over for speeding a couple months ago. And all I could think of when I saw the cop was, dang. This guy is young. When I worked in a store and mothers went from say, can you give that to the girl? To, can you give that to the lady? Quote, after my mum died. And my boyfriend and I realized that we now have no older generation to ask for advice. We're it. We were only just 40 FFS. When I realized I was old enough not only to remember when floppy disks were useful, but actually were floppy. When I fall asleep on the couch and no one carries me to bed. Christmas became a chore instead of a celebration. When I heard a band that was new in high school on the classic rock station. Can't stomach alcohol like I used to. Removed. I started making this long, groaning sound every time I get up from sitting. People born in the 2000s already have Twitter. In my mind, they're just starting to learn how to walk lol. I would always prefer to stay home, watch a movie and go to sleep instead of clubbing or hanging out late. Somehow pulled a muscle while doing dishes. When I went to the mall to buy some clothes for a trip and realized that all of my go-to stores had closed. One day I'm trying to see if I can jump down the entire flight of stairs at school, and today I had to sit down to put on my socks. When I stopped having my period this year. Funny because my handle is Madame Ovaries. I didn't want kids, but knowing I've really lost that opportunity was something sharp in my soul. October 2021 was a year ago. When you try to not get involved in anything that will destroy your peace of mind. Being called mom. Man. The pharmacy is playing my jams. I trusted a fart and regretted it. When conversations shifted from weekend plans and travel to aches, pains, and medical problem. Mentioned a Rolodex in conversation and my coworker had no clue what I was talking about. Tried skipping to get fit. My collar on my shirt kept flapping up into my chin, distracting me. Then I remembered I was wearing a t-shirt, and that what was actually flapping was loose skin under my chin.